Hello. I'd like to discuss more about the binary code, or the now new God code. Uh, I think people have resorted themselves to believing that the binary code would never be cracked or replaced. Uh, they really twisted themselves into pretzels trying to find an alternative to the binary code because they know the limitations of the binary code. And I've compared it to color TV and black and white TV, and the binary code is black and white TV, black and white binary. Uh, Color TV is color TV, and all the colors of the spectrum. With the God code, it's all the numbers of the number system. Uh, you know, you wouldn't buy a black and white TV today if you went into a store, and if they even sold one, which I think would be, you'd have to go into an antique shop, I think. And even there, you would have a hard time finding one, especially one that worked. you know, I don't think it could work because your cable wouldn't be able to hook up to it. I don't know that there is analog anymore where you can run rabbit ears. And if you did, I don't. I just really highly doubt that it would work. You know, and that's what's happened now. This iPad that I'm on right now, which is an iPad Pro 2024 iPad Pro M4. Bought it 2 years ago, uh, but it's obsolete. It's no more. I mean, yes, it works now. The technology to hook up to it and the Wi-Fi and the cellular works now, and that's because the God Code was just created in December of 2025. So it's like they invented color TV, and they really didn't create the first color TV yet. They just had the concept of color TV, the the belief that they can make color TV, because black and white TV alone was groundbreaking. It was every it was very expensive. That's why one family on the block had a black and white TV, and everybody would come over and watch the Honeymooners or something when they ran their shows. And they would be live because they didn't have tape. They couldn't record. And, I mean, I don't know that they couldn't record, but it just didn't work in that way. It was all live TV. Uh, so, and that was that world. That was that era. And now we're in a new era. Just like when color TV came out. Sure, the first ones were expensive, and I'm sure anything that's created with the God code will be expensive. But prices will come down, and it'll be everywhere, like color TV is. This iPad is color TV. My TV is 4K color TV. And they'll do that with the God code as well. You'll have your basic color TV, and you'll have your HD and your 4K and your 8K and all that business. It'll just grow and grow and grow. But at the basis of the 8K even is color TV. It's not black and white TV. So it's just uh, black and white TV is dead. Maybe you'll see it in a movie. They'll use black and white film for a nostalgia piece of the movie or part of the movie. They want to bring you back, like uh, I guess, oh, when they do the old movies and on Channel 13 about the Revolutionary War, the Civil War, or All those movies they use a lot of black and white because that's what was in that era. But yeah, if you're gonna do I don't know, a moon landing today, you're not gonna do it in black and white. The moon landing of '69 was done in black and white. You know, so and I don't, there was no moon landing, but I'm just saying it was the difference. Uh, but the God code is not a matter of color. I'm just showing the difference between black and white color TV and how it changed the world and how it changed all our lives, the whole world, not just the United States, everywhere. Now with IMAX changed the world. Uh, and with the God code, you're gonna have hologram TV. You're gonna have a naked woman standing in your house that will do anything you want her to do, but you can't touch her. you know, so you know, which I'm sure the wife will love. But the wife will have their own. They have the George Clooney in their bedroom naked, but they can't touch him either. So I'm sure you're gonna love that just as well. But that's your future. That's what's gonna happen. So it's just they. I predicted COVID in 2018, and I know I'm going off a little off topic here, but somehow I'll bring it back around. But in a text, I wrote a text and I sent it to a woman that I knew, and in the text it said millions of people are going to die, and I didn't know how they were going to die. I didn't know who was going to survive. I knew how they were going to die. I didn't know who was going to live or die. I knew they would stop breathing all of a sudden. Breathing would be an issue with the form of death that they were going to face. They would die very quickly. And when COVID happened, that's what happened. Cuomo was begging for respirators, 40,000 respirators, because people were walking into hospitals and dying. I mean, that was the, the, the running story. Uh, but they charged me with a crime. They charged me with aggravated harassment because she brought it to the police and they said I threatened her. No, nowhere in the text did it say I was hurting her in any way. I said millions of people are going to die. So if she was one in a million, I guess you could say I threatened her. But it was very vague. So anyway, the point is, they had a conviction when they arrested me. They had a conviction in their mind, and the courts had me convicted before we even picked a jury. And I took it to trial because I didn't threaten anybody. And they offered me 6 months COD, walk home, go home, and no fine, no nothing, just leave, and you have a year of order of protection. And I was like, no, I'm not accepting that. I'm going to take it to trial. So I took it to trial. It took a year and constant going back and forth for a court date so they could tell me, oh, we're not ready, come back. That's what they did for a year. And before the trial, it was a bunch of crap. They put you through all this crap because they want to punish you for not taking the plea, which is fine. But so we went to trial. I showed up in my pajamas. I didn't wear a suit or anything. I wore pajamas to trial for the week that the trial went on and the jury selection. That was just my, you know, fuck you. I was like, I didn't care. I knew I didn't break the law. So, but they had a conviction when they pressed the charges. In their mind, they had a conviction. And they broke the law to get that conviction. They they violated my rights to get that conviction, and they violated my freedom of speech rights most likely because I had the right to write that text, and they had no right to charge me with a crime. And I was found guilty at trial by 6 jurors, and the judge sentenced me to 3 years probation. Mhm. And I violated probation because of COVID, which had happened, you know, there soon after. And I wouldn't go to probation because of COVID. I had a 70-year-old mother at home, and I didn't want to bring home COVID to her, and so I wouldn't go to probation. And they violated my probation, and I did 30 days in jail for a probation violation. They were threatening 9 months in jail for probation violation, but that didn't happen. Uh, and I had an appeal. I was appealing, but because of COVID, all the justices, everything was shut down, was slowed down. So it took 3 years to get an appeal. You know, I think I had 3 months or something left on my probation when I didn't need to do probation anymore because I was found not guilty. The case was dismissed because they had violated my rights. They broke the law. They broke the law, trying to get me for breaking the law that I didn't break the law. You know, so ironic, right? They tried to tame me, and I ended up taming them. I love it. So it was worth going to probation. Uh, I didn't care, and it was worth going to jail too because I really stuck it to them. And they've tried again. I've been to jail 3 other times, 2 other times after the 30 days. Um, and again, those charges were all dropped. I've never been charged with a crime. And, so the government doesn't like it when you win. They're the winners, and they always win. Look at Trump. When Trump loses, it's like somebody dropped a nuclear bomb on his head. So he doesn't like it when he loses. Well, neither does the DA, and neither does the judge. And all that. They don't like it when they lose, and I made them lose 3 times now. So, actually, 4 times. I had charges, and I didn't go to jail for those charges, but they got dropped too. It's ironic. And now they'll never come after me again. I'm pretty much safe now. But the whole idea is I predicted COVID, and they didn't like that. Just like I'm predicting color TV is your future and the hologram and all that. They don't like that because that's change. They don't like change. They like everything to be the same. A goes into B, B goes into C. And if you want to change the alphabet from the first letter is now C and the second letter is now D, you know, you're gonna have you're gonna have a real uphill battle on your hands. And it's just like when they said the world is not flat, or the earth goes around the sun. You know, all those things were D, B instead of A. It was just something that was out there, and nobody wanted to believe it. And they really went after the people that said these things. And they'll probably come after me for the God code. The minute there's a problem, they'll blame me. Meanwhile, their inability, because their lack of knowledge, their lack of intelligence, that can't see the truth like I can. So, it's just the government doesn't care about you. The government cares about the status quo and keeping everything copacetic. No violence, no chaos. Just keep collecting the tax money and keep robbing the people. We got $40 trillion in debt because the government robbed it. They rob it every day. So, you know, and they're robbing you. And with the God code, it's going to change all that. They're not going to be able to do it, because the The binary code was the matrix. God code is the matrix is gone. The matrix doesn't exist anymore. I'm Neo from the matrix. I'm Jesus. This title of this channel is Jesus is Winning. And it's true. I won. I'm not winning. I won. And this is part two because first time I tried to win, they crucified me. So, you know, you can say I didn't win then. But it's okay. You know, second time's a charm. You know, and they never saw me coming. They never expected me to do what I did. And believe me, I have a lot more to do. I have a whole lot more to do. And nothing's going to stop me. Because nothing stopped me in the past, and nothing's going to stop me in the future. So hold on to your hats. I'm here.